Hi, I'm Colin. Welcome to Learn Somatics. In this video, I want to show you the single most important movement you need to learn if you suffer from low back pain. Low back pain is usually caused simply by your lower back muscles being chronically contracted, chronically tight. If you put your hands on your low back muscles and they feel super hard all the time, then you know that they're chronically contracted. So this simple movement is going to help you regain control over those muscles and show you how to relax them anytime you want. Working position for this movement is as follows. Knees bent, feet flat, laying out on your back. And you're going to want to put your fingers just on your front of your hips here so you can feel what's happening when you do the movement. So in order to relax these tight lower back muscles, the first thing you're going to need to do is to actually contract them first, but contract them deliberately. And in order to do that, you're going to roll or press your tail down into the floor like so. And you'll feel it makes your low back arch a little bit more off the floor. And then from there, just very, very slowly, let that relax and let your low back come back down a bit. Okay, so let's repeat that. Pressing the tail down, feel how it creates an arch in your back, and then rolling your tail a little further, so getting more of your belt line in the back off the floor and creating a bigger arch, pressing the tail down a little further. And by doing this, you're contracting your back muscles on purpose. You'll probably feel creates tension in your lower back. That is what you want. And then from here, you can very, very slowly let your lower back soften out and let your lower back melt back down, let the arch come out and come back down to the floor. And let's repeat that. Tail presses down, pelvis rolls towards the feet, back arches. You'll probably feel your chin getting drawn down. That's fine, allow that to happen. And then just pause there so you can feel you're using your back muscles. And in this position now, can you intentionally contract your low back a little bit more? And then very, very slowly let everything soften out. Let the arch collapse down and your low back just soften. So if you're taking your time, you're going slow, you should be starting to feel your low back melt, soften out. Let's add the breath to this. So on your next inhale, you're going to roll and arch the back. So you're inhaling as you arch and then exhale as you relax. Each time you relax, you're further lengthening out and reducing the tension in those lower back muscles. And again, inhale to arch. Feel the belly lengthen. Exhale to relax. Feel the back rest back down to the ground. Now let's just do that one more time. Inhaling to arch and exhaling to release those low back muscles. So now that you've done a couple of repetitions and you've started to let the back relax a bit, we want to be able to go in the opposite direction with the back. We want to be able to go from an arch position into a flattened position. So let's do that now. Take your time, roll into your arch again to set it up. You're deliberately arching your back, pressing your butt into the table. It sends your belly up into the air or forward. From here, slowly release again. But this time, can you gently press your belt line in the back into the floor? And you'll feel that this makes your pelvis roll a little off the table, like your tail rolls up off the table. So now you're starting to lengthen out your back muscles. You'll feel your ribs sort of get pulled down a little bit and your chin just ever so slightly gets tipped back. And then from there, relax to rest. And let's repeat that again. So we're inhaling to arch. We're slowly relaxing. And then we're exhaling to flatten our back. So imagine you're almost trying to squash a bug or something with your low back. You're going to press it down. It makes your tail pick up. Now just make sure you're not pressing through your feet when you do this. You want the effort to be coming out of your trunk. Your trunk is what's doing the movement. If you're pressing with your feet, just relax that effort and use your trunk to do it. And slowly relax. Let's do a couple of these. Inhaling to arch. And again, the legs are relaxed. They're not involved. We're using our back muscles, our low back muscles in particular, to arch the back, send the tail into the floor, send the belly up, getting a deliberate contraction. Then we're slowly relaxing, letting our back sink down and then gently pressing our low back into the floor, letting the tail roll up off the floor a little bit, lengthening out those lower back muscles. Inhale to arch. Exhale to flatten. All right, now we've got this established. Go ahead and roll back and forth like this a few times. Flattening your back on the exhale, arching your back on the inhale. And see if you can make this feel nice and smooth and comfortable. If there's any jerkiness or jumps in the movements, just go a little slower and see if you can't smooth them out. Inhale to arch. Exhale to flatten. So you're re-establishing your control over your low back muscles here and learning how to coordinate them with the front and relaxing both sides. When you flatten, you're engaging your belly a little bit. When you arch, you're engaging your lower back muscles and therefore learning how to use them correctly. Inhale to arch. Exhale to flatten. Okay, lay out flat and just take a moment to see how that feels. If you've done that slowly and carefully, your low back should feel a lot more comfortable, and you may notice that your low back feels closer to the floor. When the low back muscles are tight, they tend to make a bridge up off the floor with the lower back, and by doing this arching and flattening movement, you can reduce that arch and get your back nice and long and soft, and therefore it feels closer to the floor when you're at rest. So that's the number one most important movement to practice if you suffer from low back pain. If you found that useful, you're also going to want to do the daily routine video that covers this movement and about 6 or 7 more to release the entire body. If you've got any questions, drop them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.